Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have for you a game, and not just any game, an epic game. A 3v3 on a hybrid map. Look at this map. It is so cool. I think it's called Supreme. I've never actually played or casted this map, but just look at it. Just look at the attention to detail, the fine craftsmanship, the art style, the texture, the taste. It's just so well designed. I think we're going to have all kinds of land, air, and sea combat. And guys, I think this game is going to be so epic. So, you know what? Grab your popcorn, get your tea and biscuits, put on your coffee. Sit back, relax, and let me do all the hard work here as I am going to bring this game to you in stunning 1080p. Already our Dark Green player going air first. But let me introduce the players before we get too much into it. Here in Dark Green, the fan favorite, one of my favorites for sure, Mr. EXE, the frickin' myth, the legend. This man known for his incredible airplay, and I'm sure he will give us a show. Going bomber first. Here in yellow, we've got Lemon Kynan going K-Bot first. And in red, we have Mr. BR. I don't know if that means he's Brazilian. I don't know what his name means, but he's going K-Bots. In orange, we have another legend, Harold, the best Escalation member in our community that we have right now. This man, unbeatable. Somebody frickin' beat him. In pink, we have Rampage going ships first. And in light blue, finally, we have Smurf. So, here comes EXE with his first bombing run of the game. And what can he do? What can EXE get accomplished with his wily shenanigans that we all know and love him for? He will take out one mechs, one wind generator, but so far that is it. That is all he has accomplished for his trouble. He will mark, Lemon Kynan will mark the shipyard so they know it's there. EXE, what a monster. This bomber already worth its weight in gold, and a second bomber coming in. Poor Pink probably just wants to commit seppuku right now. Put a nice samurai sword through his stomach area and end life, because this is never something you want to be on the receiving end of. What a terrible situation. EXE now going for Harold's base as well. Oh my god. 3 mechs is there. How does he do it? How does he do it? I think EXE, if you guys ever saw that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Where there is a musician who sells his soul to the devil in order to be able to play the guitar properly. Well, EXE has sold his soul to the devil to be able to have these bombing skills. I just don't know how he does it. It's so disgusting to watch and also to be on the receiving end of. But guys, I have to say that in this game, we have a star-studded cast of players. These guys are like the Hollywood equivalent. These guys are the Escalation equivalent to the Hollywood elite. We've got all the Brad Pitts and Ryan Goslings and Jennifer Aniston's and Angelina Jolie's. These are tier 1 players. This game is certainly not going to disappoint, and the map, like I said, so cool as well. I'm sure whatever happens this game, it is going to be a banger. I can promise you that. I haven't watched this. I have no idea who wins, but I still haven't cast a team game that Harold has lost, at least in a long time. I can't remember. So, can the Southern team finally beat this man? In the last game I cast with Harold, he 1v4 the enemy team. So Harold, he is the player to beat, but if anyone can do it, it is EXE and Lemminkainen, these two. Very, very strong players in their own right. And Harold really spamming out a lot of AKs early on. He's got some radars in the mixture. So, man, I am so excited about this game. I'm probably more excited than I should be. I'm afraid to actually type the sonar command. I don't want to crash. Please don't crash the replay. Okay, thank God. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. The replay has not crashed when I type the sonar command. So we're good to go. We're good to go. Everything's fine. Now we can see that pink has got a lot of underwater mexes. Those are the dots on the map you see. So red did go K-Bots first, which means he will be a little slower into the sea. Pink will have an advantage in the water for now. But here's the thing. There is quite a distance between the two bases. As you can see, pink has to go all the way around. So even though pink got into the water first, he won't really be able to abuse red that much like you could on some water maps where the distances between the two bases are shorter. Or say if it was EXE that had gone into the water, it's a much closer distance. So red a little bit lucky going into the water second, and I think it was probably the right decision to actually go K-Bot first, because look at this. Pink only has this one Mex. All these spots are unclaimed. All these spots are unclaimed. And look, red has taken over all these spots on his side of the map. So red's economy is going to be significantly better than pink just because he went K-Bot first, got some cons on the field, and then second went into naval. Like I said, pink not really able to punish him. But Harold's AKs have made it across the field. However, Lemminkainen already prepared with a pyro. And it goes without saying that these pyros quite efficient at roasting AKs, at creating well-done AK steak fillets. You could probably sell them at a burger joint or a steakhouse for decent amount of money if you account for inflation. You might have an expensive meal. So very well done by Lemminkainen. That quick T2 rush just in time to get the pyros out and to stop Harold from harassing the southern team. So Harold already on T2 himself, though, so the game will stabilize. Both sides pretty even at this moment. EXE going heavy into air, going into his second aircraft plant. Harold warning his team that pyros are incoming. They may or may not have the reaction, or they may or may not have the answer. But yeah, right now, both teams kind of building up their army. There is a large enough distance between the two bases that it may be difficult early on to get a ton of harassment done, as this is a large map. It will take quite a while for units to move from one side to the other. As you can see, there's a nice assembly line of storms making their way down the field. So EXE going into his third aircraft plant. So EXE really heavily committing into aerial play this game, which is what we love to see. I think every day that EXE goes heavy air is Christmas. And pink going heavily into naval as well on 3 shipyards already. So rampage with the naval superiority gambit. Red only on 1 shipyard. So theoretically, pink will win the naval combat pretty easily. Red finding a construction ship left out into the open here. It does look like light blue going into the naval as well. So 2 players on the north team going naval. And only red. No, I take that back. EXE also dabbling in the water, dabbling into the naval warfare. But engagements in the middle. Pyros of yellow and orange. I'm sorry to my colorblind viewers. It might be difficult to tell these apart. But right now, these are heralds, pyros, and these are Lemminkainen's pyros. So they look very similar, slightly different shade. But there are equal numbers of them. Battle at the top still taking place, and couple snakes, couple submarines will push back that attack pretty easily. Tons of rocket K-bots in the middle as well. So this game is shaping up to be a late game brawl, a late game showdown. I think these players certainly capable of going the distance. Both teams with tons of talents, a star-studded cast, as I mentioned earlier. And EXE, the man has gone insane, working on his, this will be his 5th aircraft plant. Maybe he canceled it. Okay, so 4th aircraft plant and 1 advanced aircraft plant. So EXE, he is going to be in the sky. It's going to be quite an impressive aerial feat for our dark green player. I am very interested to see what he can do with 5 aircraft plants. EXE is scary enough with 1. Herald and Lemminkainen's pyros now trading, fighting for control of the middle of the map. This battle is very heated. All right. It's okay. It's okay. I know it was a little too punny. I'll stop with the dad jokes. But that was some hot action right there. Light blue, still with a lot of storms. Red throwing up a radar. But really, the sea battle has not begun in earnest yet. Both teams sort of poking and prodding at one another, but I believe that the naval combat will become much more interesting within the next few minutes. I love naval combat in TA. And but feast your eyes upon this fiery warfare that is being unleashed upon us. It's a veritable inferno, if you will. It's it's enough to light up your day. And fortunately, it does seem like Herald having good enough micro to prevent Lemminkainen from getting through here, but Lemminkainen with a couple freakers making it in. Oh, this is exactly what freakers are designed for. Just such capable and efficient raiding units. So annoying. They have almost no combat value at all, but they're so good. Just getting behind enemy lines and killing vulnerable resources. But man, I think this game is going to end up really showing something promising. I'm hoping the naval combat gets to the T2 phase, and dare we dream even T3 naval combat. I would absolutely scream like a girl if we could get some of that. I do love me some T3 escalation naval combat. I shouldn't even say it, I don't want to jinx it, but can we pray to the TA gods, give us that juicy T3 naval warfare? EXE bringing the torpedo bombers into the fray, telling Pink, get off my island. Get away from my coast. This is my territory. EXE, the Mafia Lord, the gang boss. We will not allow any kind of intrusion or shenanigans near his shoreline. And Pink bringing down a metric ton of Corsairs, the T1 anti-air escort ships, but not even enough. EXE with too much air control, and the battle for the sea is raging. So, good God, I think there is a storm coming. I believe that there is a hurricane on its way. This naval combat about to explode into something amazing. A battle for the ages. Man, I would just love to see some T2 and T3 naval combat. We just don't get to see it enough on this channel. I have to harass the players. Have to make my needs known. We need T3 naval combat. We want it. But if EXE has his way, the game will not get there. Bringing these torpedo bombers up the coastline. I'm sure he's looking for shipyards here. And he has found them. He's found the shipyards. He's going to target the T2 shipyard if he can. There's a decent amount of air defense, and this shredder almost finished. He's trying to get the shipyard. It's getting low. It's at about half. Now at a third. Oh, is he going to get it? It is just so low. Holy cow, look at its health. It is on just a sliver of health. Unbelievable. Pink hangs on for now. And the dream of a T3 naval war continues. EXE unable to kill the dream for now. But in the middle, the colorblind pyro shenanigans continuing to rage. As Pink's still sending down more Corsairs, but I think Pink after that, he's got to be pooping his pants. He's going to be building enough air defense to single-handedly, I think, carry his entire team. Oh my God. What are you doing, EXE? The man has gone crazy. The man has had a dream. This man, our boy EXE, has had a dream. He's had a fever dream that he's going to create the ultimate air armada. World War II style fleets. Hundreds of bombers and fighters covering the sky in a blanket of darkness. Absolutely crushing, bombing everything in its domain. EXE has had a dream. This man has absolutely lost his fucking mind. What are you doing, sir? 10 aircraft plants is unheard of. You just can't get enough. And this is exactly what we love to see from EXE. Playing his own kind of game. Red has found Light Blue's base. And even though an Executioner does make it out, can Light Blue hang on here? Executioner is very, very strong. Very strong against T1. They are kings of the sea. I think I've said that before. They can even kill submarines, I think, if it gets close enough. So Light Blue was a little out of position. Red kind of caught him with his pants down. He will take out the advanced shipyard, so that's a big blow. And doesn't have the Executioner close enough to use those depth charges. I do think the Executioners have them, but a little bit of missed micro here. Going to lose his cons as well. So very nice job by Red, just finding that weak spot, finding the chink in the armor, finding the vulnerable point. Light Blue did have enough to stop this. He wasn't prepared, and now EXE also smelling blood or sensing blood in the water. He will come and clean up what is left of Light Blue's base. The poor bastard will lose everything in the water, and so now all he has left is this rather small land base. But Harold now bringing cans into the fray, and it will send the orange player packing. Cans are quite a vicious unit indeed, especially if you don't have the right counters. Cans actually require specialized counters to deal with properly. They're slow, but they do so much damage, and they tank like beasts. And so the reality is, Pyros and Gimps and Freakers are not going to last very long against cans, but hold that thought, because here in the south, the Battle of Midway, EXE sending his kamikaze planes to Pink's massive anti-air fleet, but Pink may have enough. Pink has a ton of anti-air, and EXE is going to have to ask for help from his fellow players, because the advantage of the fact that Pink has gone pure anti-air is that his actual anti-ship will be sort of weak. Still formidable, but it would be a lot better if he had destroyers and cruisers in the mix, so EXE definitely going to require some help from Red. Oh, Harold in trouble. Nice D-gun, though. He will stay alive for now. Harold with 7 kills, using his commander to stop these cans. I did say that cans need a specialized counter. The D-gun is such a counter. But yeah, this battle for the sea now raging. Red has come to help Mr. EXE because, again, even though Pink's armada very strong against aircraft, it is not so strong against a dedicated naval fleet of vanguards. I think these vanguards should be able to clean this up mostly. But there are battles happening all over the map. Lemminkainen sending some hovercrafts north. Light Blue does have the defenses in place to stop this pretty easily, I think. This shouldn't get too much accomplished, so nice job by Light Blue, who is sending a Reaper squad of his own down the southwest corner of the island. Dark green EXE once again. He's regrown his aerial armada. His fleet of doom. The flying circus. EXE looking scary. And the reality is, Harold does have Vamps, and Harold's air control, obviously, very, very good as well. But Pink still moving these couple ships he has left, causing some frustration for Red, he's got some piranhas moving north. It seems like Light Blue attempting to rebuild his naval yard, but if Red has anything to say about it, I don't think that will get finished. Pink now building executioners, but here's the issue. Pink is kind of in an impossible situation. If he builds the ships he needs to beat Red's force, EXE will eviscerate him from the sky, but if he can deal with EXE, then Red will be able to take care of him. So very, very difficult for our Pink player, but he's doing what he can. Yellow continuing to send some hovercrafts, but so far all these have really been are annoying. They haven't accomplished anything too groundbreaking thus far. Pink bringing some fighters into the fray, but it's not going to be enough. They're really going to need Harold's Vamps if they want to stop EXE from just killing all these ships with cormorants. But Harold seems to be occupied with other things, not supporting his pink friend here. And the problem is, one executioner can kill a lot of vanguards. However, red with his own executioner. So with that in the fray, with that in the mix, this one cruiser probably going to die very quickly. So nice job by red, bringing the counters, and now EXE still in control of the sky, creating a terrible situation for a pink player who probably would have already taken over the sea if not for EXE's constant meddling. What a game this has been so far, just constant combat both in the air, land, and sea. But red, as predicted, has found the shipyard, and with his 4 Piranha, that will die almost instantly. Piranha, a very strong T2 submarine. So once again, light blue's plan to go into the water has been foiled, and EXE, as predicted, taking out all of pink's naval force that makes it this far south. So dark green and red working very, very well together, creating a situation that is incredibly difficult for pink to deal with. He just can't seem to build enough anti-air and anti-ship capability in his armada to break through. He's doing really well, but it's tough getting 2v1'd. It's tough to build the right composition, especially when EXE has 10 million aircraft plants. Let's go ahead and look at the player bases, see if there's anything spectacular happening that I may have missed. I do tend to miss things. In the heat of the moment, BR has built a huge army of Pelicans, and they will now make it to the northwest corner of the island. Poor light blue can't catch a break. Already he's been kicked out of the sea so many times, and now red is going to attempt to assault him on land as well, wrecking all of his eco. It is a terrible situation, and EXE with his aerial control, he is going to kill everything that pink has at the top corner of the map here. Harold quickly bringing his Vamps into the fray to try and stop these Pelicans from rampaging through the northern team's base. This is just not an ideal situation whatsoever, and red has really found a nice little entrance into the northern team's base and doing tons of economic damage to the enemy team. But Harold will bring the rapiers, the gunships into the fray, but not before red gets so much economic damage done. But now Lemminkainen will attempt another attack. However, Harold has a lot of cans. These cans acting as just a brick wall. It will be so hard to break through this. So even with Yellow's impressive army here, I don't think it's quite enough. Finally, the northern team clearing up most of Red's Pelican attack. There's a few stragglers. I think they will die pretty soon. But the problem is that Red's naval sneaky Piranha attack is still alive and well and moving through the naval backline of the northern team. So Red with some very effective attacks, and Pink finally has regrouped enough of an armada of a naval dominance to attempt his own attack on the southern team's base. He's tried so many times. He has attempted it many times, but EXE and our red player BR have foiled him every time and may foil him again here Red with 8, so 7 or 8 Conquerors, 8 Cruisers. These things are, again, so strong in naval warfare, and they will just make mincemeat out of the poor Corsairs. A lot of my viewers kind of make fun of me for my kind of quirky references, but they will eat them for breakfast. They will cut through them like butter. Something like that. Choose your alliteration. Whatever the case may be, Red's army, very impressive here, and should be able to clean up what is left of Pink's naval force. Most of this should die. But can he kill the advanced shipyard? It doesn't look like he's really targeting it. He might have been able to get that if he were to focus fire it. Of course, Dark Green could remake it, I'm sure, but just being annoying. Nice job. I think these are Yellow's torpedo launchers here. Defending the gates. More action happening in the sea, however, this time it's Herald with the scalpels. The scalpel, the T2 core laser hovercraft. And, no. Are they T2? Or are they T3? I think this is T2. Let me double check. Yeah. So these are the T2 core rating hovercraft. They're actually one of the cheaper hovercraft, but as you can see, just tearing through these snappers as if they are simply a joke. The poor snappers don't stand a chance. So Herald now contributing to the naval warfare, and man, Red really moving through. God, you love to see this. This is just such a wonderful example of what escalation sea battles can be. It's so fun. And there's archers as well. So Red has a very well-balanced naval presence here with cruisers, vanguards, and even quite a few archers as well for air defense. So it will be difficult for Light Blue to stop this, even with the combined air and sea forces. And Red also pushing through with a buttload. Take it to the bank. That's what I said. A buttload of Mavericks. Holy cow. We got to give BR some credit this game. He's just been very effective with his choices. The use of Pelicans. His how effective he's been in the sea. And now these Mavericks coming through here. Herald bringing the gunships just in time. And unfortunately for Red, there's no air defense. EXE is really going to have to help him, but EXE otherwise occupied. That's so many Mavericks. Red styling on the northern team. He's just been so effective this game. Really, really good choices just in terms of his, not only his unit compositions, but his attacks, like where he chooses to attack. Very, very well planned, and giving Pink a run for his money. Pink has just not been able to break through. Lemminkainen attempting yet another assault on the east coast, but Herald has plenty of cans, and Pink has his own cans. Mr. Rampage, quite a strong player in his own right. EXE bringing in the air support, and I'd like to see Red move his naval armada to the east. He has enough, I think, to take Light Blue's base if he goes now, but the longer he waits, the more that Light Blue will be able to reinforce his position. A nice aerial fight here in the near the center of the map. Holy cow, that is so much dogfighting. Nicely done by both teams. Well-placed Lacerator contributing to this. But Herald still has some cans. And these GATs are upgrading, but they're not upgraded, so they aren't firing. Oh my god, Yellow needs to cancel these upgrades so that the HLTs can fire. Pink even bringing in support from the sea. But this is a mistake by Yellow to not cancel these upgrades, because these GATs they're going to die without accomplishing anything. And the Southern team may just be able to hold this. Red finally moving through, but by the time he did, it's probably too late. He's given Light Blue enough time to build an impressive army of executioners, and that will force him back. Again, I'm a little disappointed that Red did not push through 2 or 3 minutes ago when he had the overwhelming force. Now Light Blue has enough to push him back. However, Harold has made it to the shore with these scalpels. He will make landfall, and these are quite effective at raiding. I think I called them raiding hovercraft earlier. That is what they're good at doing. They're fast, do a lot of damage. And EXE's base now getting eviscerated. A well-placed immolator, though, it will offer some protection. Will it be enough? EXE perhaps in a bit of trouble. Lemminkainen with his own scalpels moving to the east. Combat happening all over the map, and EXE will ultimately clean up the scalpels in his base, but now some Nemesis in the sea. So a very, very interesting battle happening at all different corners of the map. There is just so much going on, it's hard to even narrate all of it. Yellow still attempting to move through with his scalpels, but Harold, some nicely placed riot control hovercrafts. That's what the Nemesis are technically called. And Harold with some amazing use of gunships this game, just patrolling the northern part of the island and keeping them safe. But Red still struggling perhaps to build enough of a naval presence to break through the north here. But Pink starting to look a little scary himself, but not enough air defense, I think. EXE still very present in the game, rebuilding his eco. He's got a lot of construction aircraft, so he will be able to throw these up in the blink of an eye. That is one advantage to going air heavy. The flexibility and the speed of mass construction aircraft does allow you to build quickly anywhere on the map. So EXE will be able to rebuild quite fast indeed. Muy rápido. Muy rápido. Harold moving through. He's got some Mortys in the back line, but Lemminkainen does as well. And the Cyclops, the core hovercraft artillery, the T2 hovercraft artillery. But all know there's not much defense here in the middle, as Harold may have found a weak spot for the Southern team. He will find this. There's not a ton of defense. There is one toaster that will offer some protection, but maybe not enough, as these Nemesis will run through here and kill all the shipyards and the seaplane platform as well. Red attempting to move through with his Conquerors, but it isn't quite enough. I'd like to see some Warlords and Millennium in the fray. I'd like to see some battleships. I think we've reached that phase of the game where battleships could be very, very helpful in taking control of the sea. Not just taking control of the sea, but also Also, bombarding the shoreline would be quite an effective strategy, as there is plenty of exposed targets. An epic fight here at the eastern side of the island, or east of the island. Red and pink have cruisers at near equal numbers, so the battle will be very, very close. Can't say who's going to come out on top just yet. Very, very close battle. As both players still struggling to gain naval supremacy here. Pink bringing in some fighters to help win that engagement. Perhaps give him the edge he needs to take control of this part of the sea at least, and maybe reclaim all of the juicy corpses here. It could boost his economy. Harold's still pushing through the middle with a nice army of Nemesis. But despite the fact that the southern team has lost most of what was in the water, they are still holding on, not letting Harold break through. So, nicely done by both teams. Both teams really playing out of their minds here. And this game really could reach T3 Naval. I think at this point it's no longer just a dream. It's no longer just an idle thought. It is in fact very possible that this game could go the distance. It could bring us the juicy T3 naval combat that we are all fiending for. We are all crack addicts trying to jam T3 naval combat into our veins. Please, somebody, start the T3 naval shipyard. Give us our wish. Man, that would just be so awesome. But yeah, the ship combat this game has just been phenomenal. Either way, really, really great choices by both teams in terms of their compositions and movement. But also the use of air as well, torpedo bombers and gunships, the depth charge gunships. But finally, Lemminkainen going T3, and it would really surprise me if Harold... I was about to say if Harold hadn't started T3. Looks like he's actually finished T3, so Harold often a step ahead of everyone else. Already on T3, already upgrading his mexes to T3. So, light blue starting it as well. T3 on the land, but I still want to see T3 in the sea. Of course, EXE going T3 air, as we would fully expect. And red pumping out some marauders. So this game still has a long way to go. Neither team has a significant advantage over the other. Still very close. Neither team has really struck a crippling blow. So it is all up in the air. It all depends on what happens from here and the choices that are made over the next probably 10 to 20 minutes, maybe more. It's been super even. Pink attempting a GIMP assault, but dark green has found it. EXE throwing his hat in the naval ring, and he will stop this GIMP attack before it really even starts. Wasting a lot of money on something that ultimately didn't achieve too much. But once these Marauders hit the front line, with the Pelicans and Partisan, the T2 anti-air K-bot, Red may have a very, very strong attack that could potentially end the game, or at least deal crippling damage to the northern team. Again, Red this game has just been a monster. Playing out of his mind. Look at this defense. 3 Orions, super well placed here. I think that's even going to stop these cans in their tracks. Might be able to get one. Actually, they might be able to get more. 4th Orion here. But with these Marauders coming in, this would be, I think, more than enough to stop Light and Blue from breaking through there. And Pink continuing to bang his head against the wall. These Gimps are just going to die unceremoniously, as EXE has plenty of depth charge coverage to just sink these, send them to the bottom of the ocean. They're already on the bottom of the ocean, but send them to Davy Jones' locker, perhaps. EXE with some Hydras. So, Red finally committing his naval attack to the north, but is Light Blue ready? He's got a lot of torpedo launchers set up here. He is ready for this, I think. And Red's force a little bit too split to effectively navigate this this attack. Just so many torpedo launchers. Can Red perhaps break through here and kill some shipyards? We'll have to see. But I'd like to see Red attack as well with this force, and especially bringing the anti-air. He will need it against Harold's roaming squads. Harold's roaming armadas of gunships, rapiers. Red, it looks like, may take out these shipyards, so he does, I think, ultimately have enough, perhaps, to get some damage done here. As Harold also having some Gimps under the water. However, I don't think those will be able to surface. I'm mostly just trying to take out some of the underwater eco that's being built. And Red now taking out the shipyards of Light Blue, so he will break through here, even with all these torpedo launchers. He will find the entrance, he will find the angle that he needs to kick Light Blue out of the water again. And now EXE taking control of the sea as well, with some Hydras in the background. But Harold with the first Talos, making it to the front here. More on the way. However, Light Blue had a little bit of a sneak attack force of his own. Is that T3 I spy? Have we reached the phase of the game where we are on T3 Naval? I think we have, ladies and gentlemen. My wish has come true. Red has built a torrent. Look at this beastly monster. It has so much health. Absolute titan. So hard to kill. It will finally die after taking so much punishment. But can he finish the second torrent in time? Oh my god. Light Blue, please don't destroy our dreams like this. Let Red be on T3. Let Red play the game. EXE desperately coming to help his teammate. EXE, he wants T3 Naval as well. EXE's like, don't kill the dream. Please, the capital shipyard is being repaired. There's a lot of build power here. I think with EXE's help, maybe, just maybe, just perhaps, Red will be able to keep the dream alive. Can he do it? It looks like he will. The second turret badly damaged, but it will survive, and he can repair it, so holy cow, I can't believe the dream is still alive and well. T3 Naval Combat. Finally a reality. It is finally here, boys. Everything we've wanted and more. Holy crap. BR this game has just been playing out of his mind. Absolutely, I'd say the most valuable player in this game. Now moving through with a huge army of Marauders and Pelicans. I don't like that he's got his partisans so far back, though. So he needs the air defense. Harold will be bringing the gunships for sure. Will it be too little too late? Light Blue's bases exposed. The Ultra K-Bot gantry almost certainly dead. He will die. And now, this joint attack of Pelicans and Marauders charging through the northwest. Smurf taking his commander and running for the hills. Trying to get out of range of these T3 rocket K-bots. The range is quite long. There goes light blue. Our first player of the game is dead. The combat in the sea continuing to rage east of the island. A huge army in the sky, a huge aerial battle will commence. EXE with nice combined forces, but Red, really the MVP this game. He's just been playing out of his mind, making all the right decisions. Harold with a couple Doomsday Machines though. He is ready for this. Doesn't want to lose his base to a few Pelicans, but his backline is exposed, and these Marauders are just going to move through with the Pelicans and kill all of this fairly easily. So Harold doing his own counterattack here. He's got a few Executioners that can offer naval support for the Nemesis and the Talos. Does Lemminkainen have enough here to stop him from breaking through? I don't know where Harold's gunships went. They may have all been killed earlier. It would be pretty good here. There's not much air defense in the main army. But the issue is that Red is moving around, and he will find this entrance into Pink's base. Pink does not have Doomsday Machines. He does have one Viper. I don't know if one Viper will be enough. Harold now sending his units back, retreating. Maybe sending them back to defend his teammate's base, but I think it's just going to be too little too late. As Red has found the weak spot. Red has definitely found the missing scale of the dragon, or whatever alliteration you want to use. Red has just been... he has just been smelling blood this whole game. He has just been finding all of the juicy attack approaches and causing the Northern team to crumble. This is just a horrible situation for them to be in. It is now feeling like Harold versus the world, and the world is looking quite scary indeed, with Red now on his second torrent. So T3 naval combat, and we may not even really get to see it. Red has been so effective with these raiding attacks. He may end the game before the torrents can even get to the northern part of the island. Look, oh my god, Red is in the sea. He's on land. I guess he's not in the air, but EXE has that covered. He's just been playing out of his mind this game. And now, doing what he can with his Talos to stop this wave of units. But it is looking quite dire for our northern team. One player already dead. Pink not dead, but very badly crippled here. Harold, he has come back from amazing situations before. His economy is the best in the game. Well, no, that's not true. Red has a better economy, so I take that back, but his economy is the best for the northern team. He's very strong, but is it strong enough to keep his team in the game? I don't know. The poor guy is basically 1v3 at this point. He doesn't really have much left. Doomsday Machines doing a lot of work here. These are one of the most effective defenses in the game. Very aptly named Doomsday Machine. But no, it looks like Harold will tap out. Harold realizing that there is no amount of Doomsday Machines in the world to prevent that apocalypse from simply tearing him apart and giving the southern team the victory. So this is the first game I have seen Harold lose in a long, long time. Very well played by the southern team. Yellow did a good job of just kind of holding the middle for the most part. EXE, of course, great air support, and later in the game with some good naval control. But Red, really the star of the show. Great job to our Red player BR. Guys, thank you everybody for watching this. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, and if you want to join my Discord, I will put the link in the description. Thank you very, very much, and I will see you in the next cast.